Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to walk through doing this Moody black and white edit. Let's get at it. Here's the final edit of the Moody black and white. This is taken of the famous dome building that was right at ground zero in Hiroshima, Japan. What we'll do is we'll step backwards through the edit and then we'll walk into it. So this is the final result. Prior to the layers, I'm going to use snapshots here. Prior to the layers, this is what it looked like. And prior to doing the develop settings, this is the initial out of camera look. So let's move back into the develop view with all the settings reset. And the first thing we're going to do is bump up the exposure. We're going to bring it up to around here. This nicely lights up the building. We see the detail in the dark areas, and the sky is clear. We've got the definition of the limbs against the sky, and of course the skeleton of the dome against the sky. Now, there's a lot, I'm going to zoom in here, there's a lot of color noise in here. It was late at night. It was a fairly high ISO. So what we want to do is, first of all, we want to clean up the noise, and the color noise that's in there, we're going to bring that up to around 38%. And we're going to bring up the luminance noise reduction up to about 19%, right about there. Now you won't see much difference in this until we apply the black and white. With the black and white, the noise really stands out. But what we do want to do is bring back some of the detail, and so I'm going to bring up the radius to around 25%. And I'm going to bring up the amount to 58%. And that gives us some nice definition along with the cleaned up noise in the sky. What you want to avoid is too much of that contrast when you're doing the noise reduction along with detail refinement. Getting ghosting along here. So this is a pretty good balance where we don't have too much ghosting, but it gives us nice detail in the stone and brick. So we'll go back to full size here, and then we're going to press develop, and that will bring us back into the Pixel Studio. So from here, let's go back to the final result again, just to show where we were. All right, so we have several adjustment layers here, starting with the black and white. We've got a curves adjustment that is adding a radial mask in order to just bring out, to really highlight the center part of the building while keeping the rest of the image darker. Curves adjustment to give us better contrast. So let's go back to the previous step where we've done the develop settings and we have yet to add the layers. So let's add those back in one at a time. So we're going to click on the adjustments icon. We're going to bring in the black and white adjustment. Now from here, you can go in and do some tweaking if you want to change the color contrast for the pre-black and white or the pre-desaturation. But in this particular case, we're going to leave that as it is. We're going to be using curves in order to contour out the image to give it that moody look that we're looking for. So the next adjustment that we're going to add is a curves adjustment. And in that curves adjustment, we're going to use a darken curve to bring it down. And as you can see, this takes it a lot of the way to what we're looking for. But in here, we are going to add a mask. And in that mask, we're going to use the fill tool. In the fill tool, we'll select elliptical. And we'll get that centered where we want it. We want to take off the aspect ratio. If the aspect ratio is on, then the aspect ratio of our ellipse or elliptical mask is going to be the same as the image, and we don't want that. We want to bring it in to how we want it to look. All right, so it's not doing anything yet. What we need to do here is change our gradient points. We're going to make this one black. As you can see, that lightened up this center part. The reason why it's light in the center part is where the mask is white, the adjustment is masked. Where the mask is black, the adjustment comes through. Okay, so as you can see, now that it's completely white on the outer edge of the mask, and you can see that here, we have lightness in the center, so no adjustment, and it gets darker as it goes out. And we're gonna bring that in because we really want to keep it confined to this area of the building. So this helps do a couple of things. It helps define our subject. It helps provide contour, kind of 3D look in the building itself, and it gives it a lot of that moody look. The final step is to add another curves adjustment, and this one is going to be a fairly standard but maybe a little more aggressive S-curve. And that S-curve, of course, we want to use that to really define the differences between the dark and the light to give it that really moody kind of a look. So you can play with the S-curve to taste, but this is essentially the edit. So it's a pretty straightforward edit that gets you to pro results very, very quickly. So thank you for watching this video. If you like what you see, press the like button. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe.